keeping track and managing your communications with your customers and with your leads is an important part of your sales process. Tracking email communications in particular is something that Simple Sales Tracking is set up to do and is uh, fairly straightforward. So messages, as we call them in the system, are stored in the messages tab. You can see there's a few that are in here already. Now it's important to mention that when you send an email, you don't send an email directly from Simple Sales Tracking. You use whatever your default email client is. So if it's Gmail or Outlook or Thunderbird or whatever you're using for sending emails, um, that actually works separately from Simple Sales Tracking. But what we do through the software is give you the ability to keep a record of any important emails directly within the system. So an example would be, say for example, you got a project sign off from a customer. You may want to store a copy of that sign off and attach it, associate it, directly with their account record within the software. Another one might be you'd promised that you were going to be delivering something, you delivered it, and you just keep via email, and you keep a record of that associated with the again with the account, and that over time, adding that information begins to build a richer picture of that customer and of the history that you've had with them. So, anyways, we'll take a few minutes and we'll walk through how do you actually store that information. So first off, if you go to your settings page, you can see the the email address that gets generated for you automatically from within Simple Sales Tracking. So if you don't actually have an email address that's showing here, you would choose to generate a new one. And if for whatever reason, if you ever want to make a new one, you can always come back and create another one. So any email that you forward or send or BCC or CC, whatever, if you send an email to this email address, then a copy of that email will be stored within the messages tab in this tab here. If in the email the system recognizes that you sent that email to somebody who's also set up in Simple Sales Tracking. So for example, if you sent, let's go have a look at our account, Doe Enterprises here. So we've got John at doeenterprises.com. So I just threw that in there. And if we were to send John an email address, and actually we'll do that in a minute here, we send it to him and we CC or BCC our Simple Sales Tracking Dropbox email. That will not only store a copy of it in the messages tab, but it'll actually create a link to it directly from this messages area here so that we can easily go back and reference it. So give me a second here and I'll bring up the new emails. So in this case I've got Outlook opened and I'm going to put John's email address in there, and I'm also I'll go and grab our Dropbox unique Simple Sales Dropbox email. Okay, so I've got it here. In this case I'm just going to put it into the BCC field, and we don't have to write test. Hi John. Okay, so here's an example of an email that we may send John, and in this case we're sending him directly. We could be replying to an email, we could just be forwarding an email, whatever. So we'll go ahead and send that. Now that it's been sent, we can go over to the messages tab and we can see that it's turned up in our list. So we can click on that and see, okay, here's the email that it was sent, and we can see who it was sent to, when it was sent. If I could actually also from here you can see that the email was already associated to Doe Enterprises, and that was all done automatically. If it didn't recognize the email, say for example John had an alternate email address you'd sent to, and so it didn't link it up for you automatically, you can actually choose other sales and link them manually as well, or to any contacts. If we'd added that email address to John Doe in his contact record, and we go over the differences in a different video, leads versus contacts versus opportunities and accounts, um, then it would have made that association as well. So it's not limited to just making the association with a single record. It'll do it anytime it finds that email address, or multiple ones. If you'd have sent it to John and Bill and Bob, then it would have gone to all of them and made the association as well. So if we go have a look at Doe Enterprises, we can see here right at the bottom of the page, project sign off um, is in the messages list. So that's how messages work in Simple Sales Tracking. Again, none of the emails are actually being generated from within Simple Sales Tracking. We're just think of it like sending a carbon copy to Simple Sales Tracking, being able to store it for reference later. So thanks for watching the video.